Go.
Hey everybody, we are in Lake Tahoe at Laurel Langmeyer's headquarters here. We just had a 2-day mastermind with one of my mastermind groups, and beside me over here is Lou Brown. He's a legend.
Yeah, baby.
Legend. And this is Lynette Wolf.
Ta-da!
And this is Cindy Dumeyer.
Hey there.
These two are mentors of ours, so I thought it'd be good to invite them in on our questions this week.
That's right.
Because, and Lou knows a little bit of something about real estate as well. He's been at it for how long?
Over 30 years.
30 years, so he's learning it.
So our first question tonight, Ron, is from Ronald Geyer in Michigan.
Hey, Ronald.
Hey. When lease optioning, do you pay sales tax on the transaction, or does the buyer pay it when they get financed?
I don't know of any sales tax on a real estate transaction, Ronald. Do you, Lou?
No.
Never heard of any.
Nope. Nope.
No, there might be transfer tax, and that might be what they're referring to.
Okay, well,
That's
yeah, all
not
right.
on a Sounders lease
If
purchase.
you're referring to transfer tax, generally the seller pays it, but it's totally negotiable. When I do a lease purchase, I make the buyer pay it.
Mm-hmm.
However, if your buyer's going to get an FHA loan, they'll make the seller pay it. But you worry about that at the time when you sell it. You can always rewrite the contract.
And you don't have to pay any taxes till it's actually closed and
Correct.
sold.
Income
right.
taxes, yes.
That's right.
Okay.
Question number 2, Ron, from Todd Crane in Tennessee. I own the home I live in free and clear under a warranty deed, and I'm interested in putting it into a land trust for protection, but Tennessee does not.
Here it comes.
But Tennessee does not recognize them. I researched and found out that a quitclaim deed might do the same thing.
Oh, you're
Number
killing me.
1, would quitclaiming my house to my general partnership corporation offer protection
Oh,
like
God.
a land trust? Number 2, am I doing anything wrong for the intended purpose? Number 3, do I need to change my title insurance policy as well?
We just happen to have one of the foremost experts on trust right here. His name is Lou Brown.
Yay.
So Lou, answer question number 1.
All right.
They don't have a statute in Tennessee on land trust. Does that stop me from putting a house in a land trust?
Absolutely not. You can put that property in a land trust all day long and twice on Sunday. You're not going to have any problem at all doing so. I've got many of my students that actually have their properties in trust in Tennessee.
As do I.
Have no problem at all buying or selling the properties.
Yes.
And the thing that you want to keep in mind is that putting your property in trust provides a whole other array of benefits that you don't get when you put it in an LLC or a corporation or a limited partnership. For example, now you get the opportunity to have probate avoidance on your estate. So if you pass away, it passes right on to your heir without any kind of transfer or expense in terms of going to court and having to transfer it on public record and all that sort of thing.
That's correct. And as to the last question, should you deed it to a general partnership? If you do, I'm going to personally hunt you down and beat you to a pulp. You don't deed anything to a general partnership ever. In fact, you really don't have any reason to ever have a general partnership. That is a very dangerous vehicle. Just remember, what happens to one partner happens to all of them in a general partner. So that's enough on that.
The next question, Ron, Katrina Manley in Florida. Other than absentee owners, what criteria do you recommend for yellow letter mailings? Thank you, Christy King.
Okay. We mail to expired listings. We mail to yellow letters. I just mail to zip codes in targeted areas that I want, and we can pick them by price range as well. You do any mail?
Yeah, I do some different things too. We do a lot of baby boomers. Tom and I are in the baby boomer stage, and we're thinking about, hey, maybe we'd want to sell our home.
You mean renting lists of people that are baby boomers as owners?
Yes.
Yes, you can do that.
Excellent.
Yes, and I will mention the expired listings. You would get that from a real estate agent, the
Correct.
multiple listing service.
Any
But those
comment?
have been very productive.
I love absentee owners, and I'm having great success with postcards. So some people like yellow letters. Sometimes you want to change up. Sometimes mail to postcards on the same list and then change it up to yellow letters.
Ignore that. Yellow letters are always going to
Yellow
out on
letters, the
postcards.
winner.
Yay,
Always.
yellow letters.
100%
Yeah.
of the time. And I can show you documented proof of it at my Quick Start School.
The next question, Ron, from Michael Morgan, North Carolina.
Yep.
How can I get my LLC name registered?
Come on, Michael.
Okay, you go to the interweb
Go
and
on
type
your
in
state's website and fill in the blanks.
corporate
Michael.
commissioner website.
Well, in
or
your state.
whatever state.
sos.gov.
Yeah.
Is that it?
and follow the
Federal site?
directions.
sos.gov, secretaryofstate.gov.
Oh, all right.
You can find the Secretary of State's website for your state, and then just click on it, and
Fill
they've
in the
got all
blanks.
the instructions there
Step
for
by
you to be
step.
able to go ahead and set
And
up
since
your
I
own
just did
LLC.
an incorporation this year, I'm gonna tell you right now, they're very slow in approving your corporate name and even slower in approving your EIN number. It took me 4 days to get an EIN number after we set up a LLC for a new restaurant that I'm buying.
And Michael has a second question, Ron. I found that vacant homes on Zillow listed as off-market. Does that mean they're not available?
That means they're off market. That's what that means. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, next question. Oli Lindell from Tennessee. I contacted the owner of a vacant home. The ARV is $85,000 and it needs about $10,000 in repairs. The owner is current with a mortgage balance of $65,000. She's motivated enough to sell, but I'm not sure if I should fix it up and lease it out or allow it to go into default and try to do a short sale.
No.
What do you suggest?
What
No
should he
on
do?
the short sale.
Take over the payments to a subject to. You go right in there, you can either wholesale it, fix it up, do a lease option, a lot of options.
My favorite thing is to take it over subject to, take over the debt, and
Absolutely.
exit out with a work for equity buyer.
Yeah, they're almost right.
What would you do, Ron?
Well, first of all, I'd never renovate it under no circumstances would I
No.
put 10 grand in a house with that small amount of equity. And taking it over subject to might be okay, but I'd put it under contract subject to,
Take it to the.
then go find a buyer as is, and then decide whether I want to stay in it or not. Because if I want to stay in it, then I take title, but if I didn't, I'd just flip the contract.
That's right. Take it to the marketplace.
You
And
agree?
See what you get.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. You're always looking for enough equity in the deal to actually make it make sense, so
If you buy
it's
it,
gotta be there.
yeah.
Okay, Leo Sosa from California.
Hey, Leo.
Hi, Leo.
Hi,
If
Leo.
someone is selling a house that is free and clear as an estate sale, does the buyer have to pay all cash, or can creative financing be structured around the deal?
Yes, both. Both.
Absolutely.
You make the offers. Sometimes the heirs will do creative financing, which
Yeah.
means owner financing.
Yep.
Sometimes they won't. Most people believe that it's all cash forever, but I bought several houses
So have
in
we.
probate with owner financing.
So
I
have
know
we.
Lou has too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of my favorite
We've
things.
done.
Yeah.
You never know what the seller will do until you make
That's
the offer.
correct. Costs nothing to make an offer. And I usually give them a couple of offers at one time, a cash offer and an owner financing, and let them pick. Cash offer is always way below the owner financing offer.
And that really shows the importance of taking the owner financing when you see the vast difference in the purchase price.
Absolutely.
The next question, KJ Roberts of California.
KJ, one
Hey,
of our
KJ.
top point owners.
All right, Ron,
So KJ must have about 5 million Gold Club points, doesn't he?
think-
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Number one?
Yeah,
Is he
he's-
number one?
Hey KJ, you might want to
Hey,
spend
KJ.
them points sooner or later, man.
What's he hoarding them for
Can you
some
get
reason?
a
What are
trip
you
to
doing,
Cancun
KJ?
on that?
Yeah, you can't take those points to your grave, KJ.
He says he's holding 32 properties, but
Yeah.
my one escrow company just can't handle all the work, and using multiple escrow offices makes it a nightmare. Do you have any suggestions on what I can do?
I'm not sure what
Is
the
he
question
talking about
is.
a management company?
What's the definition of holding 32 properties? Does that mean you have 32 in escrow? Because if you already own them, the escrow company's got nothing to do with it. I'm a little cloudy on the question.
I think he's looking for a management company, possibly.
No, I don't know.
We're not sure on that question.
But one escrow company can easily handle all the closings you do.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
care how many you got pending right now, so I don't know what the issue is
They
there.
like a
Yeah,
lot of
that
closings.
doesn't make sense.
They love
Yeah.
closings.
The second question he has, Ron, how do you handle buyers that say up front that they don't have a realtor, but when they go to buy, suddenly they have one?
Well, I don't handle them because I could care less. It's none of my business. The deal's going to be the same with or without their realtor in the middle, so I don't know why it's an issue. I'm not paying any commission, that's for sure. How about you?
No.
Yeah,
You
no,
would.
no,
Yeah.
we
If
don't
they-
pay
if
commission
they
on
bring a
issue.
realtor into the game,
Yeah.
that realtor's got to find out how they're going to get paid.
Exactly.
But I'm
It
not
isn't
going to be
us.
the one to
It's
pay
not
them.
us.
Correct.
Correct, yeah. All right.
Last question he had was, I find a lot of motivated sellers having title issues preventing me from closing fast, and they don't understand why title issues take so long to clean up. Do you have any advice on what I can tell them and how I can speed that process up?
Put your escrow agent on speed dial on your phone and put them on the phone with them, let them explain it, because they're not going to believe a word you say. That's the way I do it.
Yeah, that's
How about
true.
you?
There is another option. There's several different companies that will do what's called a preliminary title. and they'll go ahead and research title on a property, particularly if you're concerned about it. Go ahead and do a preliminary title. It costs you about $69, and then you'd go ahead and know up front that you're going to have a clean deal.
Well, I assume that he
going out
already
the
did
other
that.
I thought he already did that.
That's how he found the
that
title
there was
problem.
title problems. But
Now he's trying to explain to the seller why these things have got to be cleaned
and
up.
obviously,
Yeah.
if your farm area is, 1950, older houses, usually you might find a little more title issues.
Yeah.
But versus going into the newer neighborhoods.
Well, I'm
but-
proud of you, KJ, for even checking the title before you
Yeah.
go
Yay,
sticking
KJ.
buyers in and find out that the title's bad later.
Amen.
Yeah.
Always research the title. Always get title insurance.
Absolutely.
If you're at risk.
If you're
Yeah, if you don't have it,
Yeah.
if you have equity.
So Ron, we're about to get on a boat here in Lake Tahoe and go on
Yeah.
a cruise.
Uh-huh.
Yay.
Lake Tahoe, woohoo.
Yay.
So that's all for the questions this week.
Okay, well, I'm glad you all tuned in this week. We'll see you next week. Go out and make some money, do some
Cash your
deals,
checks.
kick some butt, take no prisoners, and make sure we're aware of it. And keep sending us those copies of checks. We get about 5 to 10 of them every
Oh.
single week.
We love
And
those.
if you get tired of sending copies, you can always send the originals. See you next week.
Take action.
Bye.
Yeah, baby.